Do I clearly make money from playing MTGO? Yeah, I usually do. Yeah, I do. Usually it's a few $100. I certainly don't maximize it. It's like way better if you want to make money to sell your chests and to play more prelims than I do, but I play it in the way because it's like better for the stream to open the chests, and I also always like to have a bucket of play points so I can do a lot of brewing and losing. What sort of games do I play off stream to chill? A lot of D&D. I have like other, like I used to play. I was playing a ton of Dark Souls for a long time. I've been like a little burned down on it lately. I was recently kind of trying to get into Subnautica, but me and Esther did the same thing with Subnautica 2 that we did with Subnautica 1, which is we got really into it for a few days, and then got really busy and stopped playing, and then all of a sudden, my opponent has Solitude in their hand, by the way. Then all of a sudden we like didn't remember anything that was going on. We stopped playing. Am I gonna do Elden Ring streams? I'm thinking about it. I want to. That might be like, my first, variety stream in a long time is January next year, Elden Ring. Okay, they're drawing Dark Confidant, but I'm gonna be playing Elden Ring anyways, like right after the regular stream, so I might as well just like throw it up and hang out, I think Keep Safe could be worth testing a deck like this without a ton of cheap threats. I'll have to exclamation point card. Counter target spell that targets permanent you control. 2 mana protection spells, even ones that draw a card, are probably not good. 2 mana is so much. They have another Stoneforge on top. I think my opponent has Solitude, so I want to hold up this counterspell here. By the way, they paused. I could be wrong. What's my D&D character? So I'm currently playing a Pathfinder campaign where I'm playing a Swamp Elf Monk who's just like a water buffalo farmer who's gone on an adventure. All right, let me use the counterspell here. And then in D&D, I've been playing the same character for about 3 years now. A human storm sorcerer with 1 level of Hexblade, so I could be a melee character, melee storm sorcerer. And then recently got to level 20 with that character. So I didn't bolt snap bolts before damage because if my opponent has Solitude, then we kind of get blown out. But now Solitude doesn't do anything. I don't think they have Solitude in the Bob deck. You'd be surprised with what these black-white players get up to. These black-white players are all over the place. They play Cauldron on their Bob deck, Who cares if they play Solitude too? Sensei, 13 months, welcome back. Appreciate ya. Bolt Snap Bolt getting 5 subs. Thanks, man. Getting some hype in the chat. Building up the energy. Let's go. I'm gonna, I think, just keep this sideboard plan. You got a gifted sub. Should have thanked Bolt Snap Bolt. Yeah, it's a good time. Good time for the gifted subs. I just got it. Imagine sideboarding against Bob. Yeah, just Solitude the College are easy. Easy. I don't know, maybe they're not playing it, but these black-white decks are just all over the place. They're all just scrambling desperately to find the perfect build of the sewer. And so far in their exploration of the sewer, they haven't found a corner of it that's particularly good. All the black-white players scrambling down in the sewer, trying to find a good build of their deck. I think we can keep this on the draw. Yes, I would like a third Darcy. How did you know, deck? And before smallpox, I guess. Imagine they take the bolts. Humor is bordering on me. Well, I think the key to any person who has a pet deck in Modern is to be able. It took Sprite Dragon a while. Is to be able to laugh at yourself a bit. You know. It's a very important skill in life in general. To be able to laugh at yourself. They know I have the Spellstutter Sprite. I don't think they're gonna play into it. I'll just play a Darcy. Yeah, I do think that the best black-white builds are playing the reanimation package. I kind of like the build I had the other day, but it could be a better way to go about it. There was a top 8 list that was more in on the reanimation plan. Get an upkeep stop going. Let's go. So I think I hold up the sprites. Kind of worried about Dam. Really 4 out this initial list. What are the obvious improvements? Okay, well, seems like you're getting around the old deck tech here, but I can just give you a brief look. Decklist looks cool. Let's discard Spellstutter. No, I'll discard second Darcy. Just cast the Spellstutter. I feel like Eldrazi Displacer. How many colorless lands can you put? If you're playing Brushland in your deck to support your like one copy of Eldrazi Displacer, that seems really bad to me. I would just ignore, forgo your Displacer. All right, if we put that in the graveyard, we get Delirium, but it's probably too good of a card to put in the graveyard here. Other than that, seems fine. I feel like I don't see any obvious changes I'd make besides not playing the Displacer. Full list. Wait, if there wasn't a Soul Herder in there? Yeah, easy Soul Herder in that deck. Yeah, I think that a lot of Hammer Time lists are playing Manriki Gusari and the sideboard. I think it's a good sideboard card for that matchup. Sword of Sinew is still a lot worse, especially in the Hammer Time mirror because it turns off Lurrus. Just play Manriki Gusari. How do you feel this Lurrus list compares to Stoneforge Mystic one? I feel like I like this list a bit more, where like Darcy Bauble is kind of a better package than Stoneforge Mystic at the moment anyways. And like having Lurrus, like it's just so hard to be, you know, good in these grindy matchups if your opponent's playing Lurrus and you're not, you know. They should probably cash in there, Lily. Decide not to. It's a good way to just have their Liliana die for no value. They have Stoneforge Mystic on top. Maybe a good way for them to get back into this. So I lost my other sprite, so this one can't counter their Stoneforge. I'll keep a land just to make sure that I can get a 2-for-1 off iteration. So hand, bottom, exile. Play this. Kill Liliana. They're going to draw Stoneforge Mystic. They're going to get tapped Hallowed Fountain. And Unholy Heat the Mystic if they get Cauldra. If they get Batterskull, I guess we just save it for the Germ token. They get Sword of Fire and Ice instead, which... But they're scared to play it into 2 open mana, so I should save the Unholy Heat to time walk their equip for next turn. I think. Also true that the sword does not, at the time of making this comment, kill Darcy. So he could even race. It's a huge disaster if my opponent draws a discard spell and I put Lurrus into my hand and they take the Unholy Heat. Well, I guess if they draw a discard spell, we heat the Stoneforge. No, yeah. I mean, I guess we can heat the Spirit in response, and then they still can't play equip to the Spirit. Yeah, we can put Lurrus. Obviously better for us if they draw a discard spell to like be able to Spellstutter Sprite it. Alright. Good luck, sewer player. Your journey to find a good black-white deck in Modern. Was my 40-1 run with red black the best I've ever ran? Probably. It's like, honestly, in Magic the Gathering, it doesn't get that much better than that. And that blemish on our record, I even like misplayed that in the game. We might have lost anyways, but could have had like a just flawless run for a couple days. Have I run a league with Hammer? I have off stream. I've also played the deck in the past, but this is something I like to say a lot so people understand like what I'm trying to do on this channel. And you know, I don't know if I should change my Twitch bio, but my Twitch bio is just so funny. The longer I leave it like that, the better it is. But on my channel, I like to try to brew and innovate and tune deck lists and like find new tech and find new ways to attack the metagame. And I'm trying to do that every single day during the week. And then in the weekend, try to take what we've learned and play in a tournament is what I'm trying to do. And so I don't like to just say, okay, I'm going to play Hammer Time today, and I'm just going to play a stock Hammer Time list. If I have an idea for a way to improve on the Hammer Time decks, if I have an idea on a way to develop some new tech or like, you know, attack the format from a unique angle, usually I'll test that off stream and then stream with it. But that's why you don't just see me just playing just like all the stock deck, you know, net decks or the top decks of the format. So no Lurrus, Bloodstained Basic Mountain. This could be BlueRed Prowess. Asmo deck. We'll see if they have turn 1 Asmo. This could be the Spider Space, just like Rakdos food deck. Oh, it's Hollow One. Cool. Guess we're dead. Wow, Hollow One. Alright, Flooded Strand on top. Man, fetching and shocking feels bad here. Let's get a Steam Vents tapped. I don't think this compares to BlueRed Murktide. Do you think it's a better position? What strength is it? Yeah, a lot of people have asked that today. This deck is better against Hammer Time. BlueRed Murktide Regent has a rough Hammer Time matchup in its current iteration, in my opinion, and from what I can just gather about the format in general. This deck gets to play a ton of good white sideboard cards and gets to play Spellstutter Sprite and plays Charm, although Murktide Regent should already be playing Charm. And that's what's going to give the deck an advantage over the traditional blue-red Murktide variants, in my opinion. So hopefully we can Sprite something this turn, and then next turn block Hollow One with Sprite and then Bolts. Still don't have Delirium despite getting Burning and Greed. Burning and Greed kind of unflooded us though. So yes, and so that's why I'm liking this version again over Murktide Regent. It's also true that Murktide Regent is on the decline at the moment. So like what I was liking this deck a lot, and then Murktide became a popular deck, and then Murktide was favored in the mirror because the card Murktide Regent specifically was so powerful. Any Stealers in chat? Stealing the Adept and then double blocking Neonate seems like I guess threatening to double block Neonate could be good. It's also good if they like Goblin Lore, trigger this, that we could threaten a trade. Ox of Agonis. So we probably need to counterspell Ox. Take 2, block Bolts. Out of Steam Vents. Alright, we're still in this. Tough game for sure. They have so many 1-drops. I think that I want to try to. I'm just gonna hold up mana. I might steal the Adept like end of turn. I might draw 2. I might Spellstutter plus Unholy Heat. I think I can take 1 before anything else happens. Cool matchup. Man, when Sprite's good, it's just so good. We can trade Sprite for Rootwalla. They're getting kind of close to getting their Ox back. They need 3 more cards out of the graveyard. I want to save the Charm probably for 2 turns when they're going to get back their Ox. I think I'm just going to cast the Sprite Dragon, attack with it. Do I think Spell Pierce is playable? I do, yeah. I do think it's playable. But just because a card's playable doesn't mean it's like a card that you want to play. You know what I mean? There's a difference between playable cards and cards that you want to play. Iteration here. I just like the problem is my life total is so low. I'm like worried about like needing to like shock and dying to like lightning bolts or creeping chills. It seems like my opponent's hand is just like all Oxes or something uncastable. Vengevines maybe. Wow, double bolts. Be good. All red spells though. They have a Vengevine on top, so yeah, it looks like their hand's gonna be similarly clunky. I'm just gonna hit them, hold up bolt, but then we get to go bolt a dragon attack again, kill them. Yeah, I agree that Force of Negation's been not that good lately, which is, you know, good news for modern players because that card's like certainly kind of prohibitively expensive, right? All right, looks like we're gonna be up a game against Hollow One, which is nice because I don't think this is a good matchup at all. Did I play against Hammer Time in the last 5-0? No, I didn't. We did play against it in our Mulligan League earlier, where we lost a match to something, then beat Hammer Time 2-0, then lost to it 2-0. I do think the matchup is favorable, but it's not like an auto win. It's not like your best matchup in the format. Hammer Time is so good that you can play a lot of cards to try to beat it and still just not be that favored, which is scary, right? On the draw, I'm probably cutting Ragavans in this matchup. I'm down to play like the first Flusterstorm. Yeah, but now there's a new prohibitively expensive card, Ragavan, for sure. Besides Hammer Time with Dexter Tier 1, I think like I kind of group the like these Ragavan Darcy decks that I'm playing now and the black-red Ragavan Darcy deck. I kind of just grouped that all together, to be honest. I think that it's a very similar archetype, but those two decks are kind of feel like the same metagame space, and like some combination of either Rakdos or Mardu or BlueRed or Jeskai is going to be like one of the tier 1 decks in the format, in my opinion. We have bolts for that at least. I think I bolted now. It's kind of bad if they have a second Asmo though to do this. And then I would say that those are probably the top 2 decks of the metagame, and then there's like a decent number of decks that are kind of well positioned in that environment, you know, which is usually how metagames are. Yeah, like various they discard Cookbook. That must mean they're looking for a land, right? I guess they could maybe just have another Asmo in their hand. I feel like I guess, I don't know. A bit weird to play it like that. So now I guess I'm gonna try to Spellstutter Sprite the Cookbook to not die to the food plan here. Yeah, like various like Living In / Rhinos are like close to tier 1, if not tier 1. I think that Control is going to be on the upswing once people start to adapt to the yellow hat style of just like siding in more counter spells, which I think is just genius for like the harder to control decks. who like just really struggle because the overall mana value of those decks is so high. Just genius. Good draw. Top card of my library is Counterspell. That's probably good enough to like put in my hand here. Also means like maybe these can get Hallowed Fountains, right? We discard Vengevine end of turn. It's pretty scary. We draw Counterspell. They only have 3 cards in their hand. It's gonna be hard for them to get back their Vengevine, but definitely doable. Definitely doable. Also possible Sprite Dragon can either get big enough to block Vengevine or potentially race Vengevine. Them just passing back is great for us. We have Delirium after we fetch with the Scalding Tarn. Yeah, I agree that Counterspell is not super well positioned. I know I've been saying that all day. Counterspell is also better in our deck than it is in control decks, right? Because it's a big issue for control decks to be trading down on mana by countering all these 1 mana spells, and then also you have to play Teferi, Hero of Dominaria, Jace the Mind Sculptor. You have to play all these 4 and 5 mana spells that you're also maybe trading down on mana for if your opponent has Unholy Heat or can just kill it with, and it's just like your deck's a lot slower. In decks like this that play a lot of cheap creatures, like trading down on mana is a lot more okay because all of your threats are way more efficient than like Teferi, Hero of Dominaria. So I probably should have made a bigger point to kind of talk about that. Like why am I playing Counterspell in this deck if I'm saying Counterspell is poorly positioned, you know? Well, Nassif also won the challenge on Sunday Dirk's side. Like, you know, the deck list makes a lot of sense for this particular weird metagame, but I also don't think it's gonna make sense to play it like that forever. Yeah, I don't think the Just Guy deck is the deck is terrible, but it like specifically attacks the metagame well, and like I think that Nassif is like very clear that that's his take on it. It's just a metagame build, you know what I mean? What do you think about blue-white control shell with Murktide as primary threat? Well, I guess what is drawing you to white? If that's what you want to play, what is making you want to build a white deck instead of a blue-red deck? Yeah, Jace is super bad right now. I agree. Jace the Mind Sculptor is maybe at an all-time low in Modern. Well, I guess it was maybe worse when it was banned. Probably not. People really liked Jace back then. It was probably better when it was banned. 5, 9 damage. I think a second Unholy Heat's fine to keep on top. Keep hearing you hint ideas for our Great Phoenix deck when we're getting to see that masterpiece. Well, we tried it out. It wasn't a masterpiece. we did stream a couple leagues and it didn't feel that good. Unfortunately, it felt like not unplayable, but not quite the time, not quite the place. So we can heat this now for 1 extra damage, but I feel like the ability to like not get got by double Vengevine again. Oh, that was a bonehead mistake. Sorry. Jedi mind tricked myself. Now we do get got by double Vengevine. If they can get it back, we lose to the mistapping of mana there. Oops. That's 1 creature. That's 2 creatures. Well, we just threw this game away for no reason. Sorry, chat. Feels really, really bad. We would have won if I just hadn't. Lurrus is bad, I guess. I guess Lurrus is bad. He just tricks you into tapping your mana bad. I think I kind of want the first explosives, seeing that they're on Asmo, all these 1-drops. I don't know, it's like I like put Lurrus in my hand, so my brain is like, I want both white mana, but just make any sense to do it like that. Yeah, this is why Burn doesn't play Lurrus, because they might tap all their red mana. In Team of Rhinos, what would I change for Jace the Mind Sculptor? Well, I like in Rhinos splashing white for Teferi Time Raveler and Ardent Plea. Let's keep this. Get to be able to play for game 3. Scamstutter Sprite. I think I've been liking the card lately. I still see my Espelos as competitive control option in the format. Not really, no. Not right now, at least. Maybe we should have upkeep Unholy Heated. As it stands, like I want my opponent to think that their Flameblade Adept is living. I guess getting in one more damage is maybe more relevant than that. Just trying to think. Yeah, they might like cast Goblin Lore if they think that this is living. Thanks for the raid, Canister. You can come in and make fun of my decks all you want if you raid me. That's the natural cycle of things. I guess I'm gonna fetch Shock, not to mess with the Surveil. Bolt and Heat. Looks like they have a burn spell. It's kinda fine. I'm pretty okay to just trade a bunch, one for one a bunch in this matchup. Lightning Axe, 2 for 1. So we're gonna shuffle anyways. So the only reason we want to put a card in the graveyard is for Delirium or Snapcaster purposes. I guess putting the Path in the graveyard for Snapcaster purposes was maybe correct, but I also don't hate like leaving it in the library to draw into. All right, let's hold up Scamstutter Sprite. Get their cookbook down. They only have one card in their hand now. Guess we can play Darcy before iteration. I guess it's bad if I like hit Sprite Dragon, so I probably should just play this first. Right, kind of obvious choice. I think it's better to put Charm in hand than Eat. This can get us our fountains for Lurrus. They play their land. This must be Vengevine. Do I block? Probably. I just don't have the option to block in the future. And then we just like get to establish Lurrus and control the game with that and like not need to worry about racing. Well, of course we're gonna steal the cookbook. The only good line with Archmage's Charm. Steal, steal, steal. Lucky to draw Lurrus. Yeah, even left up red mana this time. I've really grown as a player. Yeah, last time I was unironically unlucky when I drew Lurrus. A real level up moment for me. I'm gonna sack their cookbook to get back Vengevine. Be slow. I mean, don't I just block with Darcy again? I guess it's bad if they have exactly land removal spell. So maybe I should just Heat. If their last card's like another creature, they're definitely back in this game. Okay, they're not now. I think they probably can't win. Even losing Lurrus. I guess their card could be Hollow One. I'm not sure if like there's any way though that that is gonna be good enough. I guess I'm just drawing that now. My Lurrus is gone, so these Hallowed Fountains are just islands. I guess, sorry, I have a path in my deck. How's this list felt today? I've liked it. I like Spellstutter Sprite a lot. It's not gonna. It's obviously not a huge deal to play Spellstutter Sprite. It's just kind of like a better counterspell in the 1-drop format. It also has synergy with Sprite Dragon, which is nice, and I've liked the card a lot so far. But playing Spellstutter Sprite doesn't just solve the modern metagame, right? It's not just like, you know. It's you just can't put that much weight on it, I think. It's a good card right now. This is Harry MTG, right? I always forget Harry's username. The Lurrus card. We haven't played any of the shadow decks yet. I wanted to do it. I wanted to play shadow after the last league, but I said if I 5-0'd, I would iteration on top. Kind of greedy to keep that. We have 2 more baubles. Keep it. Yeah, I said after my last league, if I 5-0'd, I would play another one of this, and we did, so we're running it back. Did make a change. I ended up cutting the seal of removal for the 4th Unholy Heat. I feel like that card was a bit of a scam. Very Time Raveler on top, so we have 3 more looks at a land. Hit. Of course we did. And we also have Unholy Heat for Teferi Time Raveler, 2 of them, so I'm not that worried about that. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe the seal is better than I gave it credit for, but I just like, I don't think the seal is unplayable. I do think the seal of removal is worse than the 4th Unholy Heat, you know? Wall of Omens. Oh, so Harry's definitely playing Gab's list. The Circle of Life. Gab does well at a tournament. Harry plays the list. I want iteration. I don't really mind if my opponent Teferis very much. The Bolt is actually a little bit better than it looks here because this turns on Delirium for Unholy Heat, so we can just heat the Teferi. Yeah, I think Dress Down's a little underplayed, Scotty X. I absolutely agree. It's not a card that I feel like I still like explosives more than Dress Down in my Lurrus decks, but maybe in like Blue-Red Murktide. Alright, main deck, rest in peace in this deck, huh? Still kind of want them to tap out for Teferi. Although I'll jam a dragon. This deck is definitely way less vulnerable to Rest in Peace also than the Murktide Regent deck. So here we play double dragon, I think. I guess we go double dragon, heat this, attack them. Which is kind of bad against Verdict, but probably fine to be a little bad against Verdict here. We have like a handful of card advantage. Which you play instead of Bauble? Probably Serum Visions. It's like a Serum Vision's the fine budget replacement for Mishra's Bauble. You can also go back in time to win Mishra's Bauble is like $1. But I guess if you're doing that, you probably have better ways to save money. And who knows like what the costs of are, you know, running a time machine, so probably not your best option. The more I think about it, doesn't make that much sense. Cracking Arid Mesa immediately. Me Verdict holding up Triome is let's go hand Counterspell, bottom Darcy in the face of the Rest in Peace, Exile bolt them. Yeah, I finished watching Loki. Me and Esther finished it last week, I think. We liked it. We thought it was good. You can put Lurrus into play. I'm just gonna pass. Yeah, no spoilers, of course. I think my favorite Marvel show is still Daredevil. Although I went back and like watched an episode with Esther the other night, and I feel like the dialogue didn't age as well as I would like to. It was just like a little corny. It was like, at least it was cornier than I remembered it being. You know what I mean? Kind of nice to just like not really be that worried about counter magic. I haven't watched Shield no, or Agents of Shield, whatever that show's called. I really liked seasons 1 and 3 of Daredevil though, and then I liked the first half of Luke Cage, and I liked season 1 of Jessica Jones, and then I didn't watch season 2. Luke Cage was so good in the first half, and then it's like they just finished the plot, and then they're like, oh no, Netflix gave us 5 more episodes. I guess we have to rate something. That's really how it felt to me. Shout out to Spellstutter Sprite. So if Harry has another verdict, he has to catch it in here. EE on 2. I'm gonna upkeep Unholy Heat. We kill him if we find Ragavan, Lightning Bolt, Sprite Dragon. Although I guess maybe just putting Lurrus into play is better. Nah, this has got to be better. There we go. Ding, 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 ding. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Second season of Daredevil is really bad. Yeah, I'm honestly like, I remember having like rose-colored glasses for it because I love season 1 so much. But I'm sure if I went back and watched it, I would be not a fan. Alright, let me go double check Nassif's Jeskai list. Just gotta keep, now I have to keep up with all the Nassif piles. We played against the 4-color variant earlier. I like the 4-color one more than Jeskai right now. RNB, thank you for your Twitch Prime, appreciate you. So I don't think Harry's gonna bring in the counter spells. Oh, we're not gonna bring in the Chalice. The Chalice gonna bring in the Dispute, the 4th Teferi, Flusterstorm. Probably not Rule of Law. Typhoon's a scary card to watch out for. I imagine keeps in the Rest in Pieces. So maybe I could. Can I cut Darcy? I don't think so. I don't think I can cut Darcy. I think I want to play like 3 Unholy Heats. Maybe I cut a Darcy. Maybe I'll just play 3 Heat, 3 Bolts. This is okay. Gotcha. Why is she named Darcy? So Dragon Rage's Channeler is abbreviated to DRC, which is abbreviated to Darcy. Good command. Probably a keepable hand. I don't know. Close. It's weird that like they're the control deck, but we're the deck that has the counter spells. You know what I mean? What's the best control shell in my opinion? Lurrus Spring to Light. I like right now. If I was gonna play a traditional control shell, I would play Nassif's 4-color deck. That being said, this deck we're playing right now is, in my opinion, a control deck. It's just choosing to play the 1-mana creatures as its win conditions rather than Planeswalkers or Shark Typhoons. I've been liking. I would, if you consider this to be a control deck, which I consider it to be, I would recommend this deck. Kind of drawing a lot of lands for this matchup. Although Harry's missed land drops too. Found one here. Is there imaginably anything good in Abzan I can play? Well, Co-Diamonds is a talented streamer MTGO user who like exclusively streams Abzan, so I recommend typing in KO Diamonds and then trying to find something. Also, Witherbloom Command is a playable modern card right now. That's all I got though. That's all I got. Witherbloom Command playable. Do you think Blue-White Miracles is playable? Maybe. Like, I do feel like the Terminus plan is fine at the moment. It's just, honestly, my biggest issue with Control right now is the cards Jace the Mind Sculptor and Teferi Time Raveler are not well positioned. I honestly feel like that's the biggest problem with Control. And so I like what Nassif's doing, and Nassif is just saying, well, I'm just going to play Typhoon instead, because that card's okay at the moment. It's not, I don't think Typhoon is great, but I think Typhoon is playable. Where like Teferi and Jace just feel like it's really Unholy Heat has been like, you know, people talk a lot about Dragon Rage's Channeler, Darcy, Urza Saga shaping the metagame, and they absolutely do. Unholy Heat is also just like kind of kill Teferi, Time Raveler, and Jace the Mind Sculptor, you know what I mean? I say as Jace gets cast. Our draw's been really bad though. Maybe I should have mulliganed. Yeah, I actually if I'm saying this is, you should listen to me. I don't think that Shark Typhoon is good in Modern at the moment. If I'm gonna tell you that, you should listen to me because I'm like the biggest Shark Typhoon stan in Modern probably. But I do agree that Typhoon is at least better than Jason Teferi. I say that Teferi is better regulated to the sideboard these days. I mean, I like so like these like the Steve style control decks. They're saying I'm gonna play Teferi Time Raveler in the main deck, and that's gonna be how I sometimes beat Cascade if I win the die roll. Then I have more cards on the draw against them. And then Teferi Time Raveler is gonna be like how I beat like, you know, the non-low to the ground decks. And then I'm just gonna play a bunch of removal, Wall of Omens, Iteration, and I'm gonna be see, Mishra's Bauble would be a great draw. And then they say that I'm just gonna be you know, pre-boarded against the creature decks, then sideboarded against the non-creature decks, with Teferi as my like, YOLO plan against the non-creature decks, and I think that's a good plan. What would be a good replacement for Teferi in mid-range? Perhaps the Spelliest Queller. Spell Queller is at an all-time low. I'm low on the Nassif list. Well, I am too, in a sense, where like I think it made sense for like a challenge. I think that deck's terrible in league play. But I actually think that Nassif's 4-color list is probably pretty good for leagues. Which I don't know if you've seen the 7, but I think this list seems to be pretty good for leagues. Rin and 6 is just so strong right now. So this gives us Delirium. So can we go Lurrus, Darcy, Iteration? We can, but then that's maybe kind of too bad against the Supreme Verdict. So let's go hand, bottom, exile, cast. Just like that. One iteration off the top all of a sudden puts us in the driver's seat. Pretty sure yeah, Rin and 6 is just so good right now. The card is super underplayed. I put together that Teamer control deck just thinking that like Rin and 6 is going to carry the team, and then I didn't end up doing very well with it, but that was my thinking at least. We're drawing Counterspell. We can probably commit Sprite Dragon into a possible verdict if it means my opponent is... Maybe this is fine. We'll just go no to this, draw Counterspell, Dragon, eat, hold up Counterspell. I'm just going to be reluctant to commit a second creature into the 3x Supreme Verdict deck. Yeah, I've liked Spellstutter Sprite today. I think the card is good in this particular metagame. Obviously, things can change, but I've been liking the card a lot. I let that go. Good draw. Kind of. Oh, we did turn off Delirium because Darcy was the only creature in the yard. I should have floated mana. Floating mana probably sells the Archmage's Charm better than not floating. I think we're getting verdicted here. But now we've got it's 2 cards versus 2 cards. We get the first top deck. So I'd say that we're probably a slight favorite, but now that we've drawn a land, it's anybody's game. Because I think a Harry's hand is two lands or 2 non-lands because they missed lands earlier. Yeah, you can look at the teamer list in the Stream Decker. I think that I think the deck's still probably playable. And like one nice thing about that deck is it's playing Bring to Light. The deck's playing Bring to Light for Tybalt, and what's nice about that is that Tybalt doesn't die to Unholy Heat. It has 7 loyalty. Land as top decks may mean we're going to game 3, huh? But I think that the Kavus were not as good as I thought they would be, so I would like I was land. No, I'm not complaining. I wasn't complaining about my lands. I was not complaining about drawing lands deck. So I think that if I was gonna play Teamer again, which I've been thinking about a bit, I would probably cut the Kavus and then think about playing Lurrus as a companion. Which obviously feels weird to say. Just got my last basic. What's in Harry's hand? Probably all removal spells. I don't like. Could be. It's either 3 removal spells or 2 removal spells in the land. Uh-oh. I guess we haven't drawn any charms. Let's go! What a swingy game. This has been one of the best games I've played in a while. Yeah, if you want to watch the other side of the stream, it's Harry MTG. I don't know if there's an underscore. Maybe chat can help me out. Harry has an underscore, right? Harry underscore MTG. Yeah, this does not play super well around Verdict, but we have another iteration to like regas. It's just Harry MTG, all one word. Okay. Alright, wish I could Spellstutter Sprite that. But that means no Verdict this turn. Would Wilderness Rick be a good control engine that dodges Unholy Heat? Yeah, I was trying to build a Wreck Shell that played Urza Saga. Like Autumn was talking about that. And I feel like it was a decent idea. But like the play pattern of turn 2 Growth Spiral put in Saga, cast Reclamation isn't as nuts as I thought it was, because you still only get 1. You still get the same number of construct tokens. So it's like Saga shines after you already have Wreck in play, which is not that impressive. You know what I mean? Oh, I should have exiled. Oh no. I should have exiled the iteration, put the Sprite in hand. And then I should have also cast this before bolting. Old mistakes there. Been a long match. Let's see if Harry's drawn a second Typhoon. Well, I guess Verdict's like Not the best top deck because of the Dash Ragavan. It's pretty good though. I also feel like Harry should have fetched after at Bauble. Fairy Time Raveler is the top card. It's definitely a good start. Is Harry a fan? Harry's a friend and a fan, I guess. Harry's my ultimate hype man. Harry's the legend from this clip. And Harry also is never streaming when I'm watching Twitch, unfortunately. And so like that clip was born because I was actually like able to catch a stream live for the first time. Harry's also a co-host of the midweek metagame with Nassif. If we beat Harry, can you play the Harry clip? Only if Harry doesn't raid after. Because I think he's getting a bit annoyed because I keep playing the Harry clip every single time he raids. Alright, Teferi into Wall of Omens is a start. There's the clips right there. The clips right there in chat. 2 new cards. 2 actual dead cards. Worst possible into worst possible. Do I put my opponent to 3? I think so. Try to. I guess playing around Bolt makes sense. This has been a great match. I surely am almost out of lands in the deck. How many do I have? 20? 21? 19? Honestly, feels like a little low. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay, 2 lands left and 22 cards. Ah! Oh man, Harry's used my ultimate technique against me. Although that definitely means that there's another spell in hand. Is this Verdict? No way. That's Prismatic Ending. Prismatic Ending to get a bigger shark. Cool. We still have outs here. Yeah, we go steal this, dash Ragavan, put Harry to 2. Harry draws a land, he's dead. 7 months, finished summer internship, awesome. This is my technique, Harry. We also beat Verdicts off the top. Harry might be out of Verdicts. 1 got exiled, probably 1 more in the deck. Let's go! What a match. Okay, we're now 2-0 against Nassif Piles today. We've won our last 8 matches too.
Okay, he's revolutionized it. Look at him averaging 800 fucking viewers in the Magic the Gathering category. He's carrying us. He's got a fucking hitchhiking backpack and he's literally carrying the shit out of us. I'm literally here going live at fucking 8 p.m. praying that Aspiring Spike isn't live because I know that he's carrying this fucking category. He's literally carrying us. Think about it. My guy has literally got the biggest fucking balls on him to carry the fuck out of this fucking category. Magic Online is dying because once you don't give a shit. But Aspiring Spike is doing his work. He's fucking doing it. He's doing it, bro. You don't even understand what he's done for us. Literally, my guy has revolutionized what the fuck we're doing. I fucking love him. People don't give him the respect that he deserves. Fucking respect Aspiring Spike. If you don't put him fucking respect to his name, I'm gonna slap you.
Thank you, Harry. Yeah, man, I haven't played the clip in a while. I always forget how good it is. It's so good. Oh, that's right. It's a fairy uptick with the Verdict. No, we're not playing a Triumph. The thing is, like, so your white sources don't need to come into play until the late game because your only white card is Lurrus game 1. And tap lands are like also really bad in this deck. I said thanks here to Hey Spike. Like the thanks you too. Arid Mesa Go. So someone who says hey Spike, surely they're not Surely they're not playing Burn without Lurrus. There's no way. My opponent didn't play a 1-drop. I'm gonna cast the dragon. Probably dies. It lived. You know what deck I haven't seen in a while is Glimpse. Glimpse of Tomorrow. End of turn, fetch plains. Basic forests. Is that clip of channel point redemptions? For a little while, if you gifted a 5-pack of subs, I played it. But it was starting to get like a little overplayed, so I'm cooling it still a little bit. But maybe what I want to do, and I've been meaning to do for a while, and I've been a bad streamer, I guess, is like put like different parts of it as like notification sounds. I asked Terry, and he said he was cool with it. Why, yes, Spellstutter Sprite is a fairy. No! Oh my gosh. I don't know how I lost my beginning of combat stop. It's always so tilting when that happens. Yeah, shake it off. We're still doing fine. We're playing against Naya. It's fine. We're playing against Naya. What's the longest cooldown I can set? If there's a 4-drop coming. I can Spellstutter Sprite whatever they cascade into. It's Bone Crusher Giant. Okay, so we would have hit it for 5 more damage last turn, but we're doing alright. Now we get to hit with the Ragavan. I appreciate my opponent attacking here. I don't know. They know I've got the dashed monkey. Ooh, should I just bolt them? I mean, I definitely would have bolted them if this was previous turn. Bolting them plays around another stomp on the dragon. It doesn't play around me hitting like 4 mana spell off the Ragavan. I'll just hold the bolt for now, I think. Pretty sure this goes to our adventure zone. Yeah, cool. Pretty good hit, huh? This is also the Ragavan that we opened in the chest. We opened 1 full art Ragavan and I've kept it for like rental limit purposes. Maybe I'll open a full playset, huh? They're just dead to lightning bolt. I got there despite the misclick. I want to sell going into tomorrow. What's tomorrow? Wizard's always sending the most cryptic messages to me. Sell your Ragavans before tomorrow. But I won't say anything else. Spellstutter Sprite's I mean, it was okay this game, but it's probably a card I don't want 4 of. I'll just play 3. Just play the first path over it. Yeah, I'm going to the 100 Burden. I haven't missed that tournament in many years. This was the last time I opened a full set of a chest. It's been I did it so a couple months ago. It's been a while. You can keep this. Every Tuesday. There's an announcement tomorrow, so you think they might announce a higher drop rate for Ragavan? I think that's fair. That might happen. Guess I'm gonna heat. No, let me bolts. The heat can answer some like weird stuff like Elder Gargaroth. Who knows what you're gonna play against when you play against Naya Tradebinder. I'm a bit worried about my opponent having Stomp. I'm just gonna pass. There's a modern Super PTQ on Sunday. I can't play, unfortunately. I'm going camping this weekend. I would like to play, though. Now I'm just gonna hold up Charm. Do you need all 4 Ragavans for Modern? I mean, there are playable decks that don't play Ragavan. But decks like this, like all 4 Ragavans matter for sure. We still get got by Stomp if we counter that. I don't think it's unreasonable to Spellstutter the Sprawl though. We can maybe try to play around like Lightning Bolt and save the Sprite for that. And it misses a land drop here. Alright, so I think I need to play one of my 1-drops, unfortunately. With the cards I've drawn. And if they have Stomp, it's pretty bad for us. If they have Lightning Bolt, I'm going to try to Spellstutter Sprite. But if they have Stomp, then we get to have Delirium for our next Darcy and Unholy Heat after we cast the Iteration. Without knowledge of opponent's hand, do a turn 1 Darcy or turn 1 Thoughtseize if both's in your hand. I mean, it depends a little bit on like how many lands you have in your hand. Do you know the matchup? If your hand's like, if your hand's like very threat heavy, then usually I'll just lead on Darcy. If my hand's not very threat heavy, I'll usually not lead on Darcy. My opponent hit Flame Slash, which is very good for us. So I think that I guess I kind of just want to use my mana here. Counter that. I might dash Ragavan. Probably a bit better to go Darcy Iteration first. Why not counter Stomp? I don't want to counter Stomp and then leave my opponent with 4 untapped mana to play whatever they want. It's too bad, I think. Dash the Monke. We've had some really good matches today. I feel like the gameplay with these decks is just through the roof. My bad sequencing from my opponent to let me surveil. I'll keep another Unholy Heat. The card seems pretty good against them. Might be turn to just cast Ragavan. I think I was seeing Prismatic Ending. I'm just gonna dash. That's that. I forgot to board in my Cauldron. Yeah, Prismatic Ending Bloodbraid off a bit of a nombo. But I mean, like, how can you possibly build a Naya deck without having like a couple of nombos in it, right? It's not possible. Yeah, 4-mana Planeswalkers, they kind of got banned from the format, unfortunately. You cast this one? I don't think so. Am I saying that Unholy Heat is good enough to ban Oko? Well, maybe if Unholy Heat was legal, Oko would have stayed legal for a little bit longer. Yes. I know that Twitch chat's gonna yell at me if I don't do this. I'm a slave to the steal. I just have to every single time I can. Dude, we're 3 for 3 for hitting Stoneforge Mystic off Ragavan. Funny. Still not casting it, I think. Yeah, the odds of that like can't be that high. Hitting 3 Stoneforge Mystics. So they can still spend 3 mana to bounce the Batterskull, but then they can't replay it and then steal it again. Yeah, we should be playing Snowlands in this deck. I'm pretty transparent about this, but always play Snowlands in Modern Period. Always do it in your Ragavan decks, but I particularly really like this basic island when I play Sprite Dragon. I think it looks really nice, and that's a good enough reason for me to ignore the it's never happened that I've hit a Snowland off Ragavan in all these months. I'll just take the L. I'll just take the L when it happens. Okay, we've won our last 9 matches with this deck. We just got trophy number 4. Let's see if we can get trophy number 5. Keep this. Okay, for hat, we already had a hat redemption today. I think I have it only set for once a stream. Rakdos Lurrus. Harry was playing Nassif's Jeskai. Classic. It has really felt like we're playing a lot more than 19 lands with this deck. A bit worried about Scourge of the Skyclaves. I'm gonna get a tapped Hallowed Fountain though, because this is definitely gonna be a Lurrus game. Yeah, just missed 9 wins occurred. It can be a good draw. The measly 9 wins. You'll live, Spellstutter Sprite, you're going to live. It's too soon to say goodbye. Yes, Aspiring Spike, forbid me now to die. I'll obey, I will try. Hell yeah. You have to sing it really fast when it's an instant speed threat. White mana? What? What the hell? They just prismatic ending my Sprite costs 2 mana. Oh, then they played their land? What was that? What just happened? I'm shooketh. We're playing for 5-0. Yeah, this is what I mean just the doubters need to choose a better champion. They always need to choose a better champion than what they get. Oh man, doubters, you guys have to get your shit together. You've got to pick better representatives. It's just nothing I can do about it. You just have to pick better players to represent you. Hi. What's up?
I bring tidings.
Thank you. What is it?
Yes.
I guess I have no idea what it is.
It's your favorite.
Oh wait, they have them now?
Oh,
you downloaded the app? Esther loves me so much she downloaded the app so I could get my favorite thing from Taco Bell. Because they won't sell to you unless you download the app. It's so stupid. It's like they've got special app only employees or something. I think I'm gonna go down 2 Sprite Dragons for 2 Lanterns. The Sprite Dragon's kind of good against Iteration though. Yeah, I'm gonna cut the 4th Heat. Well, it's kind of bad if they're on Ragavan. I'm not sure if they almost definitely are. Let's do this. It's a steak loaded griller. It's really good. It's just like it's a steak quesarito, which I mean is a made up food item. But I like it a lot, and they had it on the regular menu, and then they just stopped offering it unless you downloaded the app, which makes no sense. It's just like, sure, maybe you don't like have it displayed anymore because there's not enough room on your graphic, but if it's an item you sell and someone drives up and says, hello, I would like to buy this, it's so dumb to say, the employees, they have to go, okay, we can sell it to you, but you have to download the app. It just makes no sense, you know? It just makes no sense. They're driving people to buy online and get registers in store? I don't know. Because I know for a fact I've just like stopped going to Taco Bell because I'm not going to download the app. Maybe I should have just downloaded the app. Maybe that's the... I think they might be a Scourge deck. I think I'm still just going to play this tapped. Just like a disaster if they have Scourge. That's usually what Mardu means. It's not a guarantee, of course. Did they mulligan? Buy Archmage's Charm. Still a bit worried. I mean, I could fetch Shock Fountain here. I'm just worried about Scourge. So I'm gonna just put Lurrus in my hand with this mana here. Okay, so seeing Voidwalker, I'm gonna stop playing around Scourge. Oh yeah, they also have Cliffs. I probably should have inferred from that. I guess I can dash Ragavan, which is good because they're prismatic ending decks. So I'll just dash and then bolt if I miss on removal spell, not if I hit. Is it drive through only that they're making me use the app? I mean, I haven't been inside a Taco Bell in years, so I guess yeah. I don't know if they tell you the same thing if you walk in. I can't remember the last time I walked inside any fast food restaurant actually. That was a really good exchange for us. And now that the Lurrus is gone, I don't need to worry about getting white mana. They didn't put Lurrus into their hand, so they must have Kolaghan's Command or Terminate. No other card really makes any sense. Because any one-mana removal spell, they would just also put Lurrus in their hand. They could have also just forgot about Lurrus. They did punt game 1. Pretty bad. Do I eat healthy food? I ate a lot more healthy food before I got real busy, and now I eat a lot less. So she goes, bubs. So she goes. It was Kolaghan's Command. That game is over. Opponent do not write. This game is not over. They have Lurrus. They just had this Kolaghan's Command. Game is not over. They drew Bolt, especially. Iteration's a good draw, though. Yeah, we only hit 2 lands off of our Ragavan so far. They're drawing Thoughtseize. Which we get punished for sacking the Bauble, but we're supposed to sack the Baubles anyways to try to draw interaction for Lurrus. Thoughtseize is already going to get hit. Yeah, they already have like good targets for Thoughtseize anyways. I don't think it matters that much to crack the Baubles now. Well, sorry doubters, you should have picked a better champion. Back-to-back 5-0s with this stack. It's pretty exciting. Chests still haven't been great. Giver of Runes might be worth something.